The violence that engulfed India on 2nd of April during the Bharat Bandh, which was organized by so-called socially marginalized sections of the society, they were protesting against the order of Honorable Supreme Court of March 20th, wherein it was alleged that the said order diluted the provisions of the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act of 1989 is deplorable and condemnable by all the right-thinking members of the society. I think, as with any law which seeks to protect its vulnerable and marginalized section of society, there is indeed a scope for that particular law being misused for vindictive purposes, for personal motives, by the people who have a negative bent of mind. In order to save the innocent from the clutches of the misuse of the provisions of the SC Act, the Honorable Supreme Court, speaking through Justice A.K. Goel and U.U. Lalit, on March 20th, in an appeal which was filed by the Director of Technical Education in Maharashtra, a public servant, in dealing with a false and frivolous complaint made by his own employee, infused certain safeguard measures in order to protect the innocent who are booked under the provisions of SC Act. The judgment, number one, banned an automatic arrest of the accused who are booked under the provisions of SC Prevention of Atrocities Act of 1989. And before the registration of FIR, a preliminary inquiry is made mandatory to look into the veracity of the complaint, and as per the recommendations of the Union of India, which admitted in the court that there has been a blatant misuse of the provisions of the SC Act, the section 18, which at present forbids the anticipatory bail, on the recommendation of the Union of India, which was given in the court, the Union of India acknowledged to read down section 18 to include the anticipatory bail, which very conveniently the Union of India took a flip in the review petition and supported the ban on anticipatory bail. I think here the role of the government is very important in dealing any such untoward incidents happening on road. For it literally pained me when I saw what happened on 2nd of April. More than 9 innocent lives were lost during that protest. Schools were shut, colleges were shut. Students who had exams, the board exams, had to be rescheduled. There was arson, vandalism, huge destruction of public property. All these things cost dearly to this checker. Who is responsible for that? Certainly it's the government of the day. It's his various state government. It's the government of Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab. All these places saw huge violence. If I talk about the central government, for the past over 4 years, this government has been in power. And this government has failed to protect the marginalized and the vulnerable section of society. And I base my argument not just I'm making this political statement, but on certain propositions. Look at how the government of the day dealt with the Mohit Vemila's case. Just look how the government dealt with the Una flogging incident. And with the protest at hand, before the protest, the government make certain different claims before the Honorable Court, which probably led to what happened on the 2nd of April. And after seeing that they were losing certain their political ground. In the review petition, they took a flip turn, a U-turn. So I think it's the duty of the government, whether the center or the state, to ensure that the weaker section of society, the marginalized, are not only protected, but also they're well informed. Why didn't the government? They had 10 to 11 days with them to make the people understand the judgment. I saw the media report, and I saw a lot of protesters were interviewed by apparently a lot of news channels, and they were not aware as to why they were on road, and they were not aware what the judgment was, or was there any judgment. They were not aware whether there is a ST/SC Act enforced, let alone that there was a dilution by the judgment. And they were there because it was a herd mentality. They were on road, looting, vandalizing, destructing public property. So this really pains me. So I hope corrective measures, urgent corrective measures, should be taken by this government to see such untoward incidences are not repeated in future. Thank you very much.